And
hello, everyone. Very good evening. Uh, let's start the meeting in another minute. We've got about 100 odd participants so far.
एक काम करना है जहाँ पर कैंप लगा था।
Okay, welcome all the participants to our first ITF community program. My name is Harish Prasad. I'm the National Development Officer for the Indian Triathlon Federation. Over the next 7 days, you will be informed on triathlon and other multi-sport rules, criteria, opportunities, pathway to represent India as an athlete or an official, and a lot more. We shall be also having some trivia for which we got some goodies from Garmin and Saucony. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for supporting this course. This course has been conceptualized by ITF and it's developed by the Indian Triathlon Development Committee, which comprises of Dr. Kaustubh Radkar, Professor Virendra Kumar Dabas, Prabhat Sharma, Abhay Deshmukh, Pooja Chaurushi, Pragnya Mohan, and myself. Our lead, of course, is Mr. Eugene Lee. He's from Singapore. He's been part of the Singapore Triathlon Federation for many years now. He's worked as a World Triathlon mentor. He's a World Triathlon Level 2 certified coach. He's worked with many Olympic triathletes over a decade. And thank you, Eugene, for being part of this initiative. Today's topic will be on Introduction to Triathlon and Multisport, presented by Pragnya Mohan. And then there is another topic today which will be done by presented by Pooja Chaurushi on ITF development pathway for athletes, coaches, and technical officials. Over to you, Pragya. Let's go ahead with the session.
Thank you, Harish. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining ITF community program. I am Pragnya Mohan. I'm a triathlete. I have 8 years of experience as triathlete. I am the current South Asian triathlon champion, have multiple national titles to my name, and have also won medals at international races in triathlon for India, also becoming the first and only person to represent country in Triathlon World Cup. I welcome you to this series. Today, I'll be talking about the brief introduction about triathlon as a sport and what it has to offer that might attract you to take up the sport. So today in my talk, we are going to cover the following: introduction to triathlon, history of the sport, triathlon at Olympics, and various formats of multisport. Let's start with the history of the sport. The first recorded triathlon took place in San Diego, California on September 25th, 1974. It was organized by the San Diego Track and Field Club as an alternative to training on the track. The race which took place consisted of a 5.3-mile race, which is equivalent to 8.5 kilometers of run, followed by a 5-mile cycling, which is 8 kilometers of cycling, and a 600-yard swim, which is equivalent to 550-meter swim. So this was how 3 sports were brought together to add some fun to their track sessions. So looking back, we might think that these distances were too short, but surely this was the start of a new sport, which then grew rapidly. In this event, a total of 46 athletes finished the race, which, considering it was the first of its kind, it was remarkable. Triathlon then grew rapidly from this beginning in San Diego, and within a matter of years, it became one of the fastest growing sports all over the world. The International Olympic Committee, which is the governing body of triathlon, saw the growth of triathlon as a sport and were interested to include it in the Olympic Games. So the dialogue began in 1988. So things started moving. IOC held a meeting and selected people to work on getting triathlon included in the Olympic Games as soon as possible. As a result of the IOC's interest in the sport of triathlon, they found the International Triathlon Union, which is the governing body of Olympic distance triathlon worldwide, which was found on 1st April 1989. In the very first meeting of International Triathlon Union, about 30 national federations became a part of the ITO meeting, and subsequently the preparation of the first World Championship, which was to be held later that year in France, began. It was during this meeting that the Olympic distance triathlon, the distances for the Olympic distance triathlon was finalized, which still hold today. That is the 1.5 kilometer swim, followed by 40 kilometers of cycling, and finishing with 10 kilometers of run. Last year in 2020, ITU was rebranded as World Triathlon. So now the governing body is called World Triathlon instead of ITU. Let us see a video from World Triathlon about the sports and its essence.
Born of innovation, united by challenge, striving to be fitter, healthier, and stronger, pushing boundaries to find our balance, mind, body, and soul. Caring for the earth, air, and water that supports our way of life. A challenge unlike any other sport, yet open to all. Connecting individuals and communities. Together, we can be more. Swim, bike, run. World Triathlon. Be your extraordinary.
So moving forward, so after all the work of IOC and establishing ITU, conducting various World Championships, triathlon was officially added to the Olympic program by the International Olympic Committee at its Congress in Paris in 1994, and triathlon made its Olympic debut at the 2000 Games in Sydney. Speaking about the headquarters, or where is ITU located, it is currently located in Switzerland. Earlier, it was based out of Canada. Today, ITU has grown to include over 172 affiliated national federations around the globe, of which India is one of them. So next is the hierarchy. So now we are seeing the hierarchy of the federations worldwide. Under the ambit of World Triathlon, we have 5 continental groups under which we have federations registered belonging to that particular continent. So like here you can see that Indian Triathlon Federation, which is our federation, the ITF, is registered under the Asian Triathlon, which is the governing body operating under the World Triathlon for countries based in Asia. So similarly, in all the other continents, also the World Triathlon operates like that. So now the next slide is the quick recap of things that we just went through about World Triathlon. So World Triathlon is the only governing body for Olympic distance triathlon. It was earlier known as International Triathlon Union. It came into existence in 1989. It supports triathlon being included as an Olympic sport. An interesting thing to note is that para triathlon made its debut in 2016 Summer Olympic Games. So under the ambit of World Triathlon, we have some races, but there are other governing bodies who hold other different races. The most popular one is World Triathlon Corporation, under whose ambit the Ironman races and the Iron label are the official property of World Triathlon Corporation. Then we have Ultra Triathlon Association. This is the governing body for ultra triathlon, which means anything longer than the Ironman races. Well, I wonder who finds Ironman races less to do even more, but there are some races which are beyond Ironman distance, which are the ultra triathlon and comes under the ambit of Ultra Triathlon Association. So the shortest of these races is 7.6 kilometers of swim, followed by 360 kilometers of bike, followed by 84.4 kilometers of run. Then we have the Biathlon Federation. This involves skiing and shooting. This does not include swim, run, or cycling. It only includes skiing and shooting. Now, triathlon is basically a multi-sport event, which means that 2 or more sports are combined and performed as an event. We have many different combinations which are officially recognized and differentiated on the basis of the sport that are involved or the terrain in which the event takes place. We also have many different categories in para triathlon, which involves people with special abilities who perform triathlon. So here are the listed varieties. So first is triathlon, which means that we have swim, then cycling and running. Duathlon generally comprises of a run, followed by cycling, followed by run. Aquathlon means running, swimming, and running again. Winter triathlon generally comprises of running, mountain biking, skiing. This is all done on snow surface. Then cross triathlon means triathlon, that is swim, cycling, and running, but it is done in off-road condition. That means in terrain where you won't have the normal roads. Similarly is the case with cross duathlon, which means that duathlon is performed under off-road conditions. And para triathlon means triathlon performed by special ability individuals. This has many other subcategories depending on the kind of disability that these people have. So these are the various recognized formats for multisport. Then we have the different racing categories. So we have age group athletes, which have age group differential at every 5 years age gap. And then we have the elite category, in which we have 3 categories depending on the age of the athlete. So for example, there's a junior person who will be categorized as a junior if he belongs to the 16 to 19 age category. Then we have under 23 category. That means anyone belonging from 18 to 23 years of age goes to that category. And then we have elite. That means anyone above 18 years of age can participate under elite. So in terms of races for categories that we just discussed, we have the races, the distance races, that is like this. But before that, I would like to explain the 3 standard races distance that are the super sprint. So super sprint triathlon would generally comprise of a 400-meter swim, followed by 10 kilometers of cycling, followed by 2.5 kilometers of running. Then a sprint distance triathlon would consist of 750 meters of swim, followed by 20 kilometers of cycling, followed by 5 kilometers of running. And Olympic or the standard triathlon, Olympic is also known as the standard triathlon, that comprises of 1.5 kilometers of swim, followed by 40 kilometers of cycling, and followed by 10 kilometers of run. So these distances are approximate. 10% of variation is allowed, given on the basis of the geographical location of the place where the races are held. So for age groups, we have all the varieties that include super sprint, sprint, and standard distance, but these are not draft legal. So what does drafting mean? So when we are cycling, we can draft behind one another and we can draft behind the other person cycling. So that is not allowed for age group races, whereas in elite, it is allowed. So in elite, in under juniors, we only have super sprint and sprint distance. For under 23 and elite, we have all the other 3 distances, that is super sprint, sprint, and Olympic distance triathlon. We do have draft legal races for age groupers, but it is only at the World Championship, which is a sprint distance triathlon. And we do have a longer distance of triathlon, which is recognized under World Triathlon, which is about twice that of the Olympic distance triathlon. Now we have different international competition for age groupers as well as for elite athletes, which are Asian Cup, which are the continental cups. So like Asian Cup, we also have African Cups, European Cups, Oceania Cups, and in all the 5 continents. Then we have Asian Championship, which are the continental championships. Then at the world levels, we have 3 kinds of races that are the World Cups, World Triathlon Series, and World Triathlon Championships. So now let us see the video in regards to the competitive angle of triathlon, which also gives us a brief about the new format in which the World Championship of 2021 is going to take place.
She looks absolutely focused. Can Lewis hold on? This is going to be a thrilling finish.
This is an absolutely terrific finish.
He was waiting for it.
And went brilliantly.
This could be absolutely fascinating.
So I hope that I have given you a brief about what triathlon is, the different kinds of multi-sports, the different level of competitions and age categories that we can compete on. Now I invite questions from the audience regarding whatever I've presented. If you have doubts in anything that I presented or want to know more, you can ask me questions. I'll be taking questions now. You can type that in the chat box, or you can ask me, you can unmute yourself and ask me.
Hi Pragya, this is Prabhakaran here from Haryana. Just a quick question. Will we have more details around rankings covered in upcoming sessions?
Rankings in terms of world rankings and continental rankings and stuff like that, or Indian based rankings?
Yes, I mean, I think hierarchically, if I understand right, you'll have to first have your national ranking and then you move into international, right?
Okay,
So
I think we do have, we will have detailed like sessions on that, about how the entire national ranking system is going to work.
Perfect.
In the upcoming days. Yes. Yeah. I think we received a question in the chat box that can you please tell once again the distances? Okay, so the distances for there are 3 kinds of distances. First is the super sprint distance, that is basically 400 meters of swimming, followed by 10 kilometers of cycling, followed by 2.5 kilometers of running. Then we have sprint distance, which is 750 meters of swimming, followed by 20 kilometers of cycling, followed by 5 kilometers of running. And the standard or the Olympic distance, which are standard and the Olympic are the same, which is 1.5 kilometers of swimming, followed by 40 kilometers of cycling, followed by 10 kilometers of running. I've received a question. Can you share details of your presentation? What does that mean? Do you want me to send you the PPT, or is that what you mean? Yankesh. if you can let us know. And what are the Indian competitions? We are going to have a lot of competitions, which we will be sharing the calendar shortly. So that ITF will take it up. What is the Olympic qualification criteria by India? Is there any special country quota for Indian athletes? No, there is no special country quota for Indian athletes to the Olympic Games. The Olympic qualification criteria is the same as it is for other world athletes. There is no special quota for as an Indian athlete. Okay.
Sorry, I'll just hop in. This is Eugene, everyone. I hope you can hear me nice and clear. Just to give you a bit of information about Olympic qualification, in order for you to actually be considered for Olympic qualification, there's a minimum number of points you need to get that takes over a number of years to accumulate. And the minimum qualification is you need to be a top 120 ranked athlete. It does change from year to year depending, but it's usually between 120. And so there are universal slots given. There's universal slots such as a new nation, or if you're a refugee country. These are some of the options that give you that special quota. Otherwise, it is as such, we are open towards any country that is on the same page of making the qualification slots. There is a maximum number of people that can qualify for Olympic Games for men and women, and it's 3 men and 3 women. So for this year in the Tokyo Olympic Games, I think only Australia is the only country in the world who has fielded a full team of 3 men and 3 women. Yeah, so I don't think there's another team. It may change again down the road next 2 weeks or so, but as of today, I think there's Australia is the only country who has 3 each. Okay, back to you again.
Are there any other questions? So we'll be sharing this presentation in on the YouTube channel of ITF shortly, so you can access that over there. I think we don't have any more questions. So thank you everyone for giving me your time and listening to my presentation. Hopefully it was informative and it is a start to the series, and please do watch the entire series because we are going to cover a lot of things during these 7 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I'll just grab one last question because Pradeep, you just asked this. Which are the categories in Olympic Games? There are right now only 2 different categories, which is the Olympic distance. So the Olympic distance, as mentioned, was a 1,500 swim, followed by a 40-kilometer cycle and a 10-kilometer run. So that is known as the Olympic distance. There is also the mixed relay, and the mixed relay is approximately 200 to 300 meter swimming, followed by a 6+ish cycle and a 2+ kilometer or slightly shorter run. That's where the nation can send 2 men and 2 women, which are taken from the individual slots. So to answer your question once again, there are 2 different categories. It is not bounded by age. Do bear in mind that to be able to qualify for that distance, you need to be 18 years old. Okay. Otherwise, I hope you had a good start to this. If you have any other questions that you think that will come along, do type it in the chat. Let's take a 5-minute stretch break, shall we? So for those of you who are in between, I know you just got off work and stuff. Let's take 5 minutes. It's exactly 6 o'clock right now. Let's come back in 6:05. All right. And if you have questions, yeah, let's take it on before we get Pooja up for the next one. All right, guys, let's take a quick short break. See you in a while. Hi, everyone. So welcome back to the second portion. And this evening, I'm just going to hand this over to Pooja. And Pooja will be taking over for the second part of this evening. So let's look at the ITF pathway for athletes, coaches, and technical officials. We would like you to encourage to come forward with your questions. It's going to be helping both you and ourselves. So let's begin. Pooja?
Thank you, Eugene. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Pooja Chaurushi. I'm 7 times national triathlon champion, 3 times South Asian triathlon champion, and I'm the only athlete who has represented India in World Championship and Asian Games, have won multiple medals in Asian Cup and other international races in triathlon. I have had almost 20 years of experience in sports and almost 15 years in triathlon. And after taking retirement, currently I'm working with World Triathlon as a level 1 technical official and level 2 triathlon coach. So this was all about my introduction. And today we are going to cover some basic informations about what are our vision as being part of ITF, is being part of Indian Triathlon Federation. So we're going to cover this following topics like current scenario, our goals, annual events and activities, challenges that we are facing to achieve our vision, and phases of transformation. So let's move forward. So like current scenario, like I think we have got many event organizers over here. As we all know that event organizers are conducting events as per their knowledge. And like all their standard rules are not being implemented just because they lack certain kind of knowledge. Athletes are on their own. They also lack some information, not so much aware of this Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Same as the organizers, for athletes also, they lack some kind of information. They are not aware of the scope of the sport. Triathlon is more of a recreational sport for majority of athletes in India. And most of them are participating and focusing for the WTC Ironman races. And majority of the World Triathlon certified technical officials and coaches are not active as they are not linked to the events or triathlon community. They are there, but we still have a gap between the technical officials, the certified people who knows how to conduct a race, the rules, regulations about the race, and the coaches who have proper knowledge of how World Triathlon works, are still unable to connect to the people who really needs them, like athletes or even organizers. Let's move forward to our goal. So our goal over here is to be transparent, have robust program catering to athletes, official, technical official, including para-triathlon. Closely work with the sanctioned races and conduct multi-sports races across the country for various age groups and distances. Make the best use of certified resources for ITF activities and events. We have certified technical officials, certified medical staff, certified coaches. We would like to have this olive branch towards all the organizers so that you can use our knowledge and make your events even better, the world-class level events. Participate in major races is our goal. We want to send our team in Commonwealth Games, Asian Cup, Asian Championship, etc. in next 2 years, and have podium finishers in Commonwealth Games 2026 and Asian Games 2026. Now move forward to annual activities and events. Sanction races across the country and award points for participants. So somebody just asked question about ranking. So this is the very first step that you can gain rank, you can gain points and have your ranking in national system. Then conduct national duathlon, aquathlon, and triathlon championship as fixed period, have a fixed calendar for the entire year so that you can prepare your athletes, you can be ready for the championships that are gonna come throughout the year. Provide 360-degree support to talented athletes for high performance during major championship. When I talk about major championships, that are continental championships, world championships, and major events like Olympics or maybe Asian Games. Let's start with Asian Games. Then comes like what other things we want to do is conduct national level technical, official, and coaching courses at regular intervals so that we can provide you with that bridge to have proper knowledge about technical officiating and coaching so that you can also conduct your races with a proper knowledge and have more popularity, have more athletes on board. Support athletes to participate in Asian Cups, World Cups for improving continental and world ranking. This is most important if we are looking forward to send our team for the Olympics in 2028 or in future other races. Currently, the challenges that I would say that we as a triathlon community, as in ITF are facing is limited funding from the government to implement our ideas. We have a long pathway, but then we need fund. Without funding, nothing can be done. Triathlon brands are there, but they are only interested in barter partnerships. Event organizers are not in sync with the federation vision and goal, of course, because of lack of knowledge, because nobody have proper idea how to reach to the major event, how to get selected for Asian Cup or Asian Championship. If event organizers have all this kind of information, they would definitely want to conduct their races in that particular way that could be a qualifier for major races. Then over here, role of the federation is to work with the local triathlon community to help them change the current mentality and make it a better triathlon community in India. So we have had this timeline. We have already started working on our timeline. So the assembly of this leadership started in 2020. And phase one, we are currently in phase one. We are conceptualizing. Then from now onwards, we are going to focus on the fundraising. Then our phase 2B is execution till March 2022 and consolidation in April 2022 onwards. Now, what is phase one, the conceptualization? To identify organizers around the country with their contact details, partner with different triathlon brands for long-term relationship. That could be anything like a cycle brand or a nutrition brand or a sportswear brand or an accessory brand. All those things that we are using in triathlon, and offer their products to the participants and podium finishers. Partner with a medical insurance company and incorporate ITF PIN to cover injuries during the ITF events. We all know that triathlon is one of like a risky event when it comes to the cycling part. There could be accidents. So we all need some certain kind of medical backup also. Partner with a sports science organization and conduct pre-race day work as a standard event activity. So sports science is a very important part of any sport. It's not just about triathlon. We need to have a proper knowledge. What should we give to our athlete to have a better performance, for the better recovery, to make them a world-class level athlete? Replicate the World Triathlon rules as ITF race guidelines, but wherever possible, update it as per Indian condition. So World Triathlon has already created a set of rules to conduct certain kind of events, to have qualification in the further races. But of course, we cannot simply replicate, because then it might get difficult for the newcomers to participate according to those guidelines. For example, talk about a cycle. Now, it's not possible for each and everyone to have a proper racing bike in their very first triathlon race. And unless until you are sure that you would want to pursue this sport for a long term, you would not want to spend lakhs of rupees for a bike. Now let's move forward. So what other things that we are looking forward to is conceptualize a team race concept. Not state or relay event, to create a snowball effect of interest. Group of triathletes form a team, qualifies as a team based on criteria, competencies in a series of races, and the best team qualifies for grand final and crowned ITF team champions. So that format could be anything. That format could be like a family race, or that could be a race for, let's say, with your team, mixed relay kind of a format, or maybe it could be like one person is going to do swim, the other person is going to do bike, the other person is going to do run. So this kind of formats we are going to introduce, so that more and more athletes can participate and could come to know what triathlon actually is. Conceptualize ITF national circuit and ITF ranking system with a goal to increase participation by including different age groups, all three multi-sports event and different distances. That includes aquathlon, duathlon, triathlon, and distances like super sprint, and Olympic or standard distance. Create a performance-based qualification criteria for Team India selection for Commonwealth Games and Asian Games 2022 participation, and promote through influencers on social media. So we have already made this set of rules for the qualification criteria, so that we could send the best of our athletes for this particular races, and those athletes could help us win medals in future races. Create a plan to involve a technical delegate, a federation representative, and certified technical official on a rotational basis in the ITF sanctioned races. Simultaneously, create a qualification criteria to attend technical official course. We want to have the best set of technical officials, and I'm sure all this event organizers who are part of this particular course today have very good idea of what triathlon actually is. And whatever you guys are lacking some kind of knowledge, we would like to build up that bridge and give you more knowledge, so that you can become proper certified TOs. And the benefit of being a certified TO is you can then go get qualification to go for Asian Cup or Asian Championship races also, to become a part of the technical official team over there to conduct the race and help Asian Triathlon Federation also. Create a robust online system for event management, event info, entry, payment collection, start list, reporting status, timing, result, mapping data with athlete profile and event analytics, so that everything is just a click away from you. You don't have to go out and find, like figure out like from where I could register. Everything will be there on ITF website. So that is your one-stop place where you will get all the information about triathlon races and triathlon as a whole. Create ITF PIN registration system for para triathletes and identify para coaching experts. Now, as we all know that there are many para triathletes in India, and they sometimes lack to have proper knowledge that which will be the perfect person for them to go and train with, or how to participate in para triathlon races. So we want to have this complete registration system so that at ITF website itself, you get all the idea, all the data about how you can participate in a race, how to get selected for the international race, and how to represent India in the future Olympic races for the specially abled people. Establish relationship and have an understanding with countries for international participation support. We would want to send more and more athletes for the international races. Let it be a friendly race or an elite level race to give more exposure, to have more competitiveness in our athletes. Understand various support offered by World Triathlon, Asian Triathlon for National Federation, and top athletes, and create a transparent eligibility or criteria for availing the offer. The World Triathlon and Asian Triathlon have a couple of sponsorship programs, scholarship programs. So we want to understand that entire support system and want to deliver it to the future triathletes of India. Create an online ITF high performance program, a robust long-term program for top performance. That includes everything from theoretical to practical to medical, everything. We would want to give all the information for a triathlon athlete as well as coach and technical official. Then there comes our phase 2, which is fundraising, which we are going to start from now onwards. Create a goal-oriented annual plan, long-term development plan, presentation, and approach sponsors. Simultaneously, use influencer and publicize LTDP on a crowdfunding platforms like the major races in India. Conceptualize and implement various robust revenue model for ITF to handle daily operations. Now, our phase 2 also has the execution part, which we are going to execute from now onwards. That is, publicize ITF National Circuit race sanction process on social media and mail all the event organizer and state unit. Personally, reach out to the organizer and explain the ITF National Circuit sanction and its benefit. Sanction races across the country and include para events. ITF to conduct the Multisport National Championship for triathlon, duathlon, aquathlon, partner with an event organizer to handle the event arrangement and raising sponsorship. We want to be part of all the other events that are happening in India, and together we want to raise the standards of Indian triathlon and send our athletes, give our athletes a proper qualification races to be able to be better athletes and to be able to win medals in the future international circuit races. So this is like beneficial for the event organizers also, because then your race will be a qualification race for the international standard races. The other things that includes is when an event is sanctioned, the appointed ITF technical delegate to closely work with the event organizers, so arrangement and rules are implemented during the event. We want to help you understand all the rules and regulations that have been set up by World Triathlon and help you give a better one foot forward kind of environment for your particular race. Your race should be like most awaited race. That is what our target is. Allocate technical official for sanctioned races. Promote selected World Triathlon Continental Cups on ITF website and social media and encourage Indian participants. If there is financial support from World Triathlon, Asian Triathlon, or ITF partners, offer it to the deserving participant based on the criteria. So we would also like to offer those financial support that any triathlete would need. As we all know, triathlon is one of the most expensive sport. Identify top performers of ITF national circuit races and route them to ITF high performance program. So over here, when I say identify top performance, that is, those top performers are the one who are going to win medals in your races if you guys are a part of the ITF circuit races. And on the basis of those top 3, top 5, we are going to send them for the future. We are going to help them overall for their training, for like financial support and everything, so that we can make them one of the best athletes of India. So this was all about what ITF thinks, what we think to promote this entire triathlon community in India. And we would like you guys to be part of it, and together we can raise the standard of Indian triathlon as a whole. So now I would like to have questions if you have any. Let's talk about it, and let's see how we can collaborate together and help grow the sport in India.
Thanks, Pooja. So we have got a first question by Kevin. And Kevin's asked, what is the process for an event organizer to basically conduct and organize a triathlon race?
So we are soon we are going to upload the entire set of process, like all the steps, how you can approach ITF and how you can get your race sanctioned as a part under the banner of ITF. So shortly it will be there on the ITF website. You can go through it and register your race.
Generally, you for the organizer, we must have all the permissions from the police, medicals, and all the local authorities, because in triathlon so many agencies are involved. So in general, you need to have the good road close. Roads must be good. They don't have any bumps, or you have permission to close that roads. You have good medical backup, and then you must have all the seaside open swim. But these are the basic things you should have to be for this minimum for this Indian Triathlon Federation event.
So basically, your event has to be safe for athletes and should fulfill all the requirements of the World Triathlon, at least 90% of them.
Thank you, Pooja. So there is another question by Adhya Singh. Is there any way we can find out a little more about updated events in the calendar of events?
Yes, there will be a list of events shortly updated on the Indian Triathlon Federation website. So you can go through the entire calendar and you will have a better idea of where and when we are going to have the other races for this entire year.
Okay, I would just like to chip in here with a few of my suggestions and what we have planned for the coming months. See, the current situation is, as Pooja mentioned in one of the phases, we have I have spoken to almost all the organizers who conduct multi-sport races in the country. Having said that, many of the state governments have not given clearance to conduct events. Some of the states, I think no state has an open swimming pool for training. So, and then there are different SOPs as well, like they should get vaccinated. They should have both their doses done. Some say that, you should get yourself tested before arriving. Some say that you need to test on the day of arrival. There are so many, protocols, we need to follow, keeping this pandemic in mind. Having said that, we will surely have events listed on the calendar. As listed in the presentation, we're looking at having about 10 to 15 races, which will have different distances for different age group, plus with which will have also multi-sport. So, and then just to also add, if you need any information on sanctioning, do write to me. I've just dropped my email ID on this chat. So you can just write to me, get the sanction process. And as Prabhat said, we don't want to scare you by saying you need to get all the permissions and etc. I know it is not going to be that easy, but we will try to help you in getting that by providing our letter, our support as well. So wherever that you are stuck, and if you're, this is specifically for the organizer, if you're stuck and if you need any support, do write to us. We will work around. We need not, for example, as Prabhat said, we don't really have to block the road fully. We can even, block one lane of a big road. That will also do for us. Something like that also can be worked out. But do reach out to us. Only when you approach us, we will be able to, give you solutions, and we'll be able to work closely. I look forward for your support and, emails and participation. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Harish. We've got another question by Srikanith. So the question is, in view of developing triathlon, will triathlon or aquathlon be included in the school games as well as the CBSE tournaments?
Yes,
Or
of
do you have
course.
plans?
Yeah, we are working on that. We would like to include triathlon in school games, in CBSE games, and of course in university games. And the process for approaching all these heads for this particular games have already been started.
Also, one of the key is to, be involved in the school games, Kelo India, etc. is for us to be, we need to have a series of event, and that's what they see. We need to have, the federation should have a database of players and athletes from different regions in different age groups for them to, look into us. So again, this is where we need your support to, come together, register with us, participate in sanctioned races rather than open events that are held randomly by organizers. So we have to, show the structure for top organizations to recognize and involve, include triathlon and or even other multi-sport part of their, initiatives like school games or, CBSE games or Kelo India or Kelo University games. All these require a lot of information from the federation, which we can only provide only when you start participating in federation activities.
Thank you, Harish. So Kevin has a question which might interest all of you as well. So he's asking, is ITF looking for developing an IT platform itself, or are you looking for vendors?
We currently have, we are in the process, as you see, the triathlonindia.com website is already live, and it has a lot of information in it. And of course, we're looking at having a mobile app as well. But if you have anything specific in mind or any specific feature, functionality, or if you think that you can be of any support, please do write to me. I've just dropped my email as well. I look into the development aspect of the sport, which includes technology as well. I'll be happy to, look into it and we can take it forward.
So there's a comment by Cynthia on it's good to have triathlon in schools and college, and I'll just help you guys to pick up on this comment. Yes, indeed, that's one of the fundamental things required for any country to start a sport development pipeline, and this sport development pipeline will eventually lead into the Olympic sport itself. So from a very neutral standpoint, because I'm not based in India, I think India obviously has a great potential, and I literally mean by the sheer size of the population, that you will be able to find very talented individuals who are going to be really good at this sport. So this is something we'll be covering in one of the modules, topics later down the week on talent identification, as well as long-term athlete development. So for those of you who are interested in understanding a little more about why and how to develop young talent in India, that's something you want to tune in down the road as well. So thank you for that comment. Is there any other question?
Apart from the session, if you have any questions also, you can write to us. We will be happy to respond back to you. Also, I have sent an email with asking for your address details for special giveaways. I think Eugene will take over, and the other two presenters will also take over for the trivia session. We have some gifts from Saucony and Garmin. Pooja, who's going to start first, you or Pragya?
Pragya can start.
Okay. If you know your answers, I would suggest you to just raise your hand on the message. Then we can unmute you and we can hear your answer.
Okay, first question, ladies. Tell you what, I'll start with the first question. There's going to be 5 today. So guys, we have got 5 surprises from our sponsors from Saucony and Garmin. So the first question is going to be an easy one. So can someone just tell me when was triathlon included into the first Olympic Games?
2000 in Sydney Olympics.
No, 2 plus. The question.
2000 Canada, Sydney.
2000 in Sydney Olympics.
Okay, that's too many guys. Okay, so you can, okay, I'm sorry, the question doesn't count. Okay, so let's just set the rules straight. Fastest guy that types into the chat in the next question will get it, okay? Because everyone's gonna okay, one more question. So can you tell me in which year was the International Triathlon Union found? Type it in the chat. First guy. Got it, Arun. Arun's first. Okay, so first prize goes to Arun. Well done, Arun. I've got like 700 messages. Okay, next question, ladies, over to you.
Okay, so I'll ask. Okay, so under which federation does Ironman come into? So which federation is the governance body for Ironman? No, you have to give me the full name, not the abbreviation. I have covered that in my presentation. So let's see. Full name. Okay, so we have got the message. Okay, so Tushar Bangale. So that's Arvind. No, okay, so World Triathlon, okay. No, we have got Chhatrapati Arya. So that's our second winner. Okay. The next question is, when was, so what does Bithal consist of? What multisport is Bithal? Yeah, okay, skiing and shooting. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so again, Chhatrapati Arya. Okay, so
let's write it down. So the second one was
Indrajit.
Yes.
Indrajit. Yes. Okay. So that's the second. Okay, so over to Pooja.
So this might be tough. Which is the shortest distance for ultra triathlon? Pragya already covered this.
Okay, guys,
That's a tough one.
The shortest distance for swim, bike, and run in ultra triathlon. You have to tell me the entire, all 3 of them.
Okay, guys, many of you are sending the message to me personally. Don't send it to me. Send it to the main chat. Make sure it's sent to everyone.
Yeah, we got someone. Aryan. I think there's Aryan.
That's the same one. That's
listening to everyone. And then we got another one, Agnello Desa. So we got our winner. As we are rolling down, Agnello would be our winner for this question. So let's move forward to the next one. Which are 3 distances organized by World Triathlon? The 3 famous distances organized by World Triathlon. Yeah, we got Tushar.
Yeah, Tushar, but
Tushar and Aaron, you guys are already there. Okay, who's next? We have Kevin. We have Kavish. Kavish Gendar. Kavish Gendar is the winner for this question. So that's all for today. 5 questions are done. Eugene, would you like to add anything?
Okay, so we will verify it with the chat. So don't worry, guys, we'll save all your responses in the chat. Meanwhile, I'm just going to open up to the floor for anything that you want to ask across the 2 presenters. So a quick recap, and first part of the evening, we talked about a little more about our sport of triathlon and understanding where the sport originated from. In the second presentation, we covered about ITF's plan towards growing the sport in India itself. So I'm just going to open the door for the next 30 seconds or so. If you have any outstanding questions, or if something comes to your mind, don't be afraid to reach out to ITF. You can reach out to their social media accounts or drop them at an email address, which I'm just going to flash out again. So in case you've missed it, I hope you can see that. So it's Indian Triathlon Federation at gmail.com. And what's going to happen tomorrow at the same time, we will have a presentation on long-term athlete development. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to be pretty interesting, especially for those of you who are event organizers, as well as parents or school teachers, or even coaches who have young athletes looking at coming to the sport and doing well. We are going to provide certain information that's going to help facilitate their development. So just make sure that you have got yourself with the Zoom link. It's going to be same. For those of you who have friends who obviously have signed up but might have missed this session, I hope that you can encourage them to hop in as well. It's also not too late to still sign up. And if you have anything that comes to your mind, reach out to us. Otherwise, guys, team from ITF, you have any other last words? Yes, it's 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. If you have no questions, I wish you all the best this evening. Thank you very much for your attendance. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the same time, and have a good evening. Cheers.
Hi, Eugene or Pooja. This is Prasad. We're calling from. I'm battling from Doha in Qatar. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Also attending the meeting. She participates in the Qatar Triathlon Federation events locally because I work here. Would that count against the ITF points or something?
No.
I would like to,
because it
answer
might be
this,
difficult to come for each and every.
I would like to answer your question. No federation will accept other federations, points unless it is a, like a world triathlon event. So you need to, take part in Indian triathlon events. And I hope she has a Indian passport, first of all.
Yes. We are expat here, so
okay,
not citizens here. Yeah.
Okay. So,
but she has the Qatar Federation Triathlon Federation card, so like she can use for participating in other events. Generally, they issue for juniors as well.
Okay. No, the key thing is I understand your situation, but we don't also want to miss out any talent. But bare minimum, you need to take part in ITF national championships or key events where we will be marking that as a selection trials or a qualification event for major game selection. You need to be there. There is no other options.
Yeah, that's fine. Because we couldn't attend that Konark one because of the COVID, a lot of quarantines and other restrictions. But I think she attended the previous one in Ahmedabad, the Gandhinagar one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was the open race.
Yeah. So you remember you gave the award to her.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, she's still practicing a lot here. Even during COVID. The only thing like Qatar started from December, and again they closed in the March because of the second wave. Yeah, so she had participated like couple of 3-4 sprint events.
Okay. So as Harish said, you have to at least come for the national championship to be able to get those points and to be able to get selected to represent India.
Because it's not possible to like come for small events, but yeah, I'm sure we'll try for attending the bigger ones.
Yes.
And all her timings and everything is well chip timed. Everything is available on their site and everything.
Okay, we'll definitely go through it once.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, see you everyone. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, the ITF team, maybe we can just stay back for just 3 minutes. Goodbye.
I think all are in love with the show. I mean, they're refusing to leave the meeting.
Yeah.
Leave.
I saw you, Sanda. Goodbye. You're training tomorrow, 5:30.
So the entire Tamil Nadu triathlon has joined together.
Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Could we all log out and I'll give you the pin and then we'll log back in? Okay.
Yes.
So I'll WhatsApp this quick one. See you.
See you. Bye.